Hello everyone. Welcome back, welcome back. Yo. Alright. It's been a few days, huh? It's been a few days since I last streamed. Yeah, so I guess first of all, a quick apology for that. Just things are really busy. Hello Ellie, welcome. Yeah. Hope you're having a fantastic day. You too. Yeah, I apologize for not being here for a few days. Yeah. Unfortunately, we're still in prison. So close. Okay. So, basically to recap what happened, I've been working really hard behind the scenes on this very big project. I can't really do winks. I can't really wink very well. Hello, Frog. Hope you're having an even more fantastic day. Yeah. I hope everyone's having a good day. Yeah. So first of all, let me get things straightened out. I apologize for missing a few days. I've been just like very busy. On top of all the previous things I had, I added. This is a very bad idea. I added another thing onto my plate, and I added another thing onto my plate, and so I just got very overwhelmed, and and actually the crazy thing is I fixed my sleep schedule and that's why I wasn't able to stream. So I went to bed at normal times and woke up at normal times. And that's because like usually when I stream it's around like 3-4 a.m. in Paris time up until like in the morning when I had to leave, and so I would sleep before that, but but something's taking up my night from like 8 p.m. up until like 12 p.m. So now I have to fix my sleep schedule. I was in the ER last night, but other than that I was doing alright. Oh no, I hope you're doing alright. I hope you're doing better. Your sleep schedule being fixed is the best reason to for stream to be delayed. No, I don't know about that. Even though that sounds really weird to say, I would like to actually stream because I get to, chat with you guys, have fun, but also, I feel like having a normal sleep schedule just made my day feel very tiring. Like, wake up, do things, do another thing, and then go to sleep, wake up, and it's the same, but like repetitive thing. I look forward to weekends, but even weekends are very stacked in terms of what I have to do, especially now because I'm working so hard on this project that I'm doing. I really, you know what? Maybe I just tell you guys. You guys get a little sneak peek at the project, see if I can pull up some things. But the reason why I'm like trying to keep things previously, why I wanted to keep things under wraps was because I didn't actually get all the legal permissions just yet for the project. I had to contact some very big organizations and authorities for this thing to just get the written permission, and so I didn't want to like, announce something and it'd be like, oh no, I didn't get the permission, I have to cancel. That's really awkward. So but now I got the permissions. I wrote a very nicely worded email to all the different organizations that were that had rights, that had that I needed permissions from, and so yeah. Your health is most important. We support you in whatever you decide. Yeah, thank you, Kayla. I think yeah, it was really nerve-wracking. I had a pretty long back and forth, and then I had to tell them my my legal name and everything, and so it was actually quite a scary scary process. But I did end up getting it. it was my own fault. It was my own fault. I wasn't breathing. I'm super tired from the today. All right, I'll just keep keep dripping things, I guess. You know, maybe it's a little bit not too fun, but I'll share what I did today, and maybe you guys can kind of gauge a little about what the plan is and stuff like that. All right, but first of all, wait, let me let me read this. It was my own fault. I wasn't breathing well and I was coughing like every 6 seconds for whatever reason, so I decided to ignore it until I was on the ground and couldn't get up. Oh no. I had some friends with like really serious respiratory diseases, and don't ignore the coughing. But I hope you're better now, Ellie. Yeah. And so, okay, basically, what were we talking about? Oh, right. Yeah, so for first things first, today's stream, after after talking for a bit, I'm just gonna keep working on the project, and hopefully I'll put on some I'll put on some really relaxing music, and we can work together. Maybe I should move back. Temporarily teleport out of prison, so so I'm not stuck here. What if I artificially no. I shouldn't cheat. Otherwise that would that would lower everyone's efforts. Working in prison. Kind of not cozy. Yeah, that's why I was thinking of like maybe thinking of teleporting teleporting out of prison for a tiny bit. Oh my god. Oh, we're getting closer. Thank you, Ellie. Yo. Okay, so alright, that's that, and I'll just quickly go over what I did today. I had a I woke up a little bit later, so I got out of the apartments at around 12 p.m. 12 p.m. Every time it crosses 11 to 12, I always have to think about whether it's p.m. or a.m. and then yeah, 500 for prison break, all I've got. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yo, we're getting so close. But I was originally planning something very elaborate for the prison break, but I just don't have time for it anymore. So we're just gonna hop straight over to the project background. Ooh. Once I have that finished tomorrow, maybe tomorrow. Yeah, so basically I had a very long day today. I'll just talk about my day today, and then we can get to working. Yeah, I left the apartments at around 12 p.m. and so I was trying to plan my best way to route around the city. I had 5 important key locations that I had to visit, and so number 1. And I was very adamant about trying to not take the car. Not taking the car my entire time here in Paris. So even when I landed at the airport, I walked all the way to the train station and took the train to the city, and then walked all the way to my apartment, and checked into my Airbnb and stuff like that. But yeah, my entire time here in Paris, I've made sure that I've only taken the metro or the bus or the, I don't know what they're called, like streetcars, I guess, but like metros on the ground. Subway on top of ground, so not sub. Just the way. I'm not sure what they're called, but basically like little streetcars, I guess. And or I wasn't able to try biking. I really think biking around in Paris is a very good idea, but I wasn't able to try it. Maybe I'll try to rent one of those bikes, you know, one of those like timed bikes, timed e-bikes, and bring you guys along. Yeah. Shot in the dark, you're either joining an agency or working with a company for sponsorship. What will it be? What will it be? A tram? Ooh, actually, that's probably it. That's probably it. So, okay. And wait, alright. First things first. Back to the back to the story. And so I took the subway all the way over to our first location. It was along the Seine, and I went to visit the Notre Dame Cathedral. Yeah. And so, unfortunately, it's still closed from the bar in April of 2019. Oh my god. Yeah, thank you so much, Frog. Yes. Okay, alright, I'm finally out of here. Oh my god. Yes. Yes. You guys probably can't tell how excited. Ow. I am to be out of jail. Oh my god. One last throw. I'm gonna keep throwing. Those have been fun. Okay. Let's see if I still have if I accidentally deleted the background or not. Okay. Be back. Alright, I'm back. Yeah. That took way too long. Alright. Okay. But yippee. I wanted to do something more, but unfortunately I'm just so busy right now. But yeah, thank you so much for everyone who contributed. That was that was such a random, what's it called? Random idea I had to just do a drunk stream, and then the next day when I was setting up stream, I decided to throw myself into jail. That was as punishment. But we brought it in there for a little bit too long. Alright, so, okay. I forgot. Oh, right. Yeah, the Notre Dame Cathedral is unfortunately still closed to the public, so I was only able to take a few pictures on the outside, walk around a little bit, and so there's not too much to share from that. However, so when's the next drunk stream? Oh gosh. I do have a small confession. I did go out and buy a bottle of rosé that I need to finish before I leave here because I can't bring it. And I did buy it. This is my first time purchasing alcohol by myself. Oh no. And I did buy another 6-pack of, what's it called? Basically beer. I don't know. I never liked beer before. I've had beer several occasions. However, you know, I never really liked it, so I don't know why. Maybe it's like drinking with friends. Drinking with you guys makes the beer go down easier. Okay, what if maybe it's a bad idea. Maybe it's a bad idea. It's still midweek. But what if we pop open the bottle? Alright, let me go grab it. Light beer is yummier, but it's more like you force yourself to drink it until you end up liking it. Oh, I don't like beer. So far I don't think I've liked alcohol at all. Even those like fruity mixed drinks, it's like I like the fruit part, right? I like the fruit part. The juice part is nice, and then there's the spicy part. I know a type of alcohol you would like. Let me go grab the rosé. I did not think I was gonna be drinking at 3 a.m. But there we go. There's a mango moscato that's yummy, or ice one, but that's expensive. Okay. Alright, let me go grab it. I feel like this is a very bad idea. Oh well. I do have to finish it in the next 5 next week. I don't know. So, here goes nothing. Alright, but anyways, back to the story. So I visited the Notre Dame Cathedral, just walked around, took some pictures that you guys may or may not be seeing soon. And then after that was a very short trip. That was a very short stay. Mead. It's cheap alcohol. It's literally fermented honey and fruit. Think you might like it. Ooh. Interesting. I'm not really a alcohol connoisseur, so I'm not going to go out of my way to try all the different types of alcohol. Rosé is just an exception. It's a pink looking alcohol. I had to get it. You understand, right? But you're not in jail no more? Yeah. Hello, welcome RJ. Welcome. Today is gonna be more on the yapping stream side of things, or later on it's gonna be a work with me. So I actually should probably delete that for now. I'll add it back soon. Yeah. I'm having trouble with the wrapper. You barely taste any of the alcohol? Usually only drink with friends. Yeah, that's the... What's it called? That's my only times that I've previously drank before as well. Of course, like, for example, like special occasions with family as well sometimes, or when when my parents go out and order wine, I like, get a sip or two, but that's basically the extent. Anyways, alright. I keep getting sidetracked, but back to what are you drinking? I'm trying to open this bottle of rosé, but it's not behaving. Maybe I need to cut my nails. Yeah, alright, back to the story. So, after Notre Dame Cathedral, I went and took one of the lines straight over to the Arc de Triomphe. I don't know how to pronounce it in French. Maybe Arc de Triomphe? Yeah. Do you not have a corkscrew? There's a, what's it called? Like one of those, like, perforated plastic wrappings before the corkscrew part. So yeah. Rosé, yeah. Yeah, and then so I went to visit the Arc of Triumph. and that was very cool. And I unfortunately did not get tickets to go up, but it was still very beautiful, like seeing basically the center of Paris, if you will. Because everything leads to the Arc, right? You've seen those pictures, you've seen the... Perhaps, if you haven't, you could take a look on Google Maps and just like see all the different streets, all the different lanes, roads lead to the Arc, and that was very beautiful. Ah. I'm trying to open this bottle. You know what? I give up. I'll just slowly open it. And so after the arc, I went over to the Eiffel Tower. Yeah, there was a stop before. So when I visit museums or when I visit the city, I guess a lot of the sightseeing locations, I don't, cosplaying. I don't know where I'm going with this, but cosplaying as a tourist is kind of fun sometimes, because I've been living here for a little bit now, right? I don't feel that much like a tourist, even though I still feel like an outsider. I wouldn't categorize myself as a tourist. So today was fun. I donned my little tourist t-shirts and shorts and and grabbed my backpack. So I'm a very cautious person. Maybe cautious is not the right word, but like over-prepared. I like to be over-prepared a lot of the times. So when I go out, it's either super light for convenience, like wallet, phone, keys, and that's it. Maybe AirPods sometimes, or it's super prepared. And so today I brought my bag. I got I had a jacket in the bag just in case things got cold. I brought my umbrella, I brought sunglasses, I brought tissue, wet wipes, a bottle of water, a bunch of stuff. And turns out I did not need any of them. I did not need like 99% of the contents of what I put in my bag. So yeah. How was your day? It was good. So I'm in the middle of like sharing all the places that I went to. This is a very interesting seal. I don't know how to open it. I give up. Alright. Yeah, so after we first went to Notre Dame, then the Arc of Triumph, and then I went to the Eiffel Tower to visit. Took a look around on the outside, didn't go into the park, didn't go in on top of the tower, at least in the morning or afternoon, I guess. And then I went straight to the Palace of Versailles. Yeah. I went inside and took a bunch of photos, learned a lot about the French Revolution, French history, the history of the monarchy, the history of Napoleon. And there's a lot of exciting stuff there. And so that was that. That took several hours. By that time, my feet were starting to hurt. However, if you visit the Palace of Versailles, you have to go to the musical gardens. You have to visit the musical gardens. It's like a package deal. It's like, buy one, get one free. But you have to pay for the ticket. But yeah, the musical gardens of the Palace of Versailles is also very beautiful. You get to experience a little bit of like, when you watch the movies, maybe like, I don't know, Alice in Wonderland, or what's another one? What's another good one? basically these like fairy tale children's stories, right? They have these big beautiful gardens, and so it's a little real life version of that. It's a little real life version of basically a garden, a garden from, I guess, a fairy tale, another world. Yeah, it was very beautiful. All the different little installations, the different fountains that they had told beautiful stories. So, for example, one of them was called Enceladus's Grove. I'm very bad with these Greek names. I'm struggling to remember, but I think it was Enceladus's Grove, and so it told a story of the Titan Enceladus getting struck down by the Olympus gods for being too prideful. And so in the middle of this fountain was I guess you could call it a statue of Enceladus, and then the music playing around would be like, very intense and action movie, like with like thunders to represent Zeus's wrath and stuff like that. It's super immersive. The music made things like, I don't know, 10 times better. And after that, I went along the Grand Canal. Basically, like, there's some famous movies that have people boat riding, rowing boats inside the park, and so that's where I went. And at this time, I guess that was towards the end of the afternoon. I was ready to come home. I was ready to come home and call it a day, but on the way here, the train that I took stopped by the Eiffel Tower, and so I had to spur of the moment visit to the Eiffel Tower. And okay. I had the spur of the moment visit to the Eiffel Tower, and I was waiting in line to buy the ticket to go all the way to the top. And by the time I finally got up, it was very beautiful. It was like just after dusk, I believe it's called, right? Dawn and dusk, right? Dusk. And so you see like beautiful purple clouds and a view of the city right before nighttime. And also I stayed a little bit longer to see the night view in Paris. And yeah, it's a very different city, I would say. Like, not a lot of other cities have the same kind of feeling, because of in Paris, at least in the central area, the metropolitan area, all the buildings are height limited at around, I would say, like 5 to 6 floors, to give a perspective. So like if you take a picture down a road, it's like beautiful parallel. Beautifully parallel, and so everything's really low. And so when you finally go all the way up to the Eiffel Tower, the highest building in the area, you get to see so far. Like from the top of the Eiffel Tower, you can see the Arc, you can see basically the Louvre, and also all the different areas around the Seine. Hydrate. Ooh, okay. All right. Oh, that sounds so pretty. Yeah, it's really. I think I'm doing a very bad job of telling how impressive, I guess. That's the only word I can really think of. But like, not the usual meaning of impressive. Like just wow, wow. But actually like making an impression, making a lasting impression. Remember to drink water if you're drinking alcohol. Yeah, I can't open this bottle, so I give up. I could grab a can of beer, but That's not too fun. That's not too yummy. I'll stick with water. I'll stick with water. Mm. But yeah, that was my day. And then I stayed all the way until the park closed in the Eiffel Tower, which was like 11:45. Almost got lost on the way home. That was really scary. So, because I was trying to take videos and photos all day long, I my phone actually ran out of battery, and I brought an entire fully charged battery pack, and that ran out as well. Because so how I have things set up is I have two phones, and this is actually also how how currently the stream setup is. So I have two phones. One phone, my usual phone is an iPhone 15 Pro, I think, Pro Max, one of those things, and that's doing the face capture, right? But I have an old backup phone that usually just sits in a drawer, but I pulled it out, and so now you guys are on it. Chat on my secondary phone. Yo. And that's also, funnily, that's also the phone that has data. So when I'm out, I have to go hotspot myself. I have to hotspot myself, and so that's what was kind of chewing through the battery, like having one phone do hotspot to the other phone. And yeah, basically towards the end, I was on top of the Eiffel Tower with 14% left on my big phone and then 10% left on my smaller phone. And so I was like, oh no, I want to save longer. I want to stay for longer, take more pictures, take beautiful, like like panoramic views of the entire Paris area. But I was running out of battery, and so I finally, the reason why I decided to go down from the top of the Eiffel Tower was because I had, I think, like 5% left, and I didn't memorize the way back yet. So I was like, oh no, I'm gonna be stuck. And for some reason, I swear to God, the last 1% is like worth another 15%. I don't know where the phone is pulling that last 1% out. Cutting it close for all the memories. Yeah, it was really, really nice. I was a little scared because the route the phone decided to take me on, Google Maps decided to take me on, had to make me walk 25 minutes. And by the end, my legs were so tired. There were some sketchy people. Oh, right. This is something really random that I just saw. I saw one of the tourists that I was kind of like just walking along with. There's like a little small group of people that left the Eiffel Tower walking towards the metro station, and this tourist decided to just steal one of the bikes that was lying on the side of the road. And we all stared at him. Well, like just kind of like, don't do it. Don't do it. But he looked at us and took the bike and rode away. Yeah. Have to do some work, so I can't yap much now for now, but I'll be lurking. Yeah. And so I kind of like, there were a few things that my parents told me before coming to live here, and one of them was like, be careful of pickpockets. Apparently there's a lot in Paris. There's so many that even at the top of the Eiffel Tower, they had a sign saying, "Oh, beware of your belongings. There may be pickpockets." Oh, I'm pronouncing it wrong. Pickpockets. And so, however, that's like kind of just been super. I was super paranoid ever since I was told that, but I haven't seen any yet. I haven't heard of any yet, but I guess the tour stealing the bike was the first instance of theft that I've witnessed. Meanwhile, in Italy, from where I'm from, if you get caught pickpocketing, you piss off the entire town. Yeah, I feel like I don't know. There's a lot more of like tourist, like extortion here. I guess there's a lot of ow. Oh my god, that scared me. Hello, Tiff. Yeah, I'm just going through the exciting day ahead. Okay, actually, like, all right. Yeah, soon. I'll also start working. I've been yapping for too long. Yeah. And so, one of the stereotypes or warnings I got was like, there's a lot of pickpockets in Paris, and number 2 was things here didn't smell very good. Apparently, the city was supposed to smell like piss, but I have not encountered that at all. Maybe they're trying to clean up their act before the Olympics. So I've seen a lot of like holes on the streets being filled up, or just a lot of renovations and construction going on, fixing the bike lane, fixing the bus lanes. Yeah, a lot of city renovation going on, as they kind of like scramble for the last few days before the Olympics. Yeah. I held because of yapping. You know, I can't leave yapping. I'm yapping too much. I think, okay, yapping is fine, but I get too distracted when I talk, just in general. I like jump on the first tangent I can ever think of, and and that just brings us to way too far off topic. You're not yapping too much, lol? It's nice. I'm glad to hear. I am a little concerned. That's kind of like the thing that nags at the back of my brain, at the back of my head, every time, every single just chatting section that we do. Yeah, I'm like, oh no, people want to hear what happens to the first story, because if it were me, I would get really annoyed if if I don't hear what happened next. But yeah, basically that's my day. So we visited Notre Dame, into the Arc de Triomphe, and then Eiffel Tower, and then Palace of Versailles, Musical Gardens, Grand Canal, back to the back to the Eiffel Tower. And so it was a very, very long day. Yeah, but maybe I can submit my score to to speedrunning sightseeing Paris. Yeah, I've been here for so long, but I've not done like all the normal sightseeing stuff, because first of all, I knew Notre Dame was closed because of the fire. It's such a shame. Like, a fire in 2019 has lasted all the way until 2024. I guess maybe during COVID, construction couldn't really, go on. But still, it's so long, 5 entire years. Yeah, but besides that, the Arc and the Eiffel Tower I've been to before, and also Palace of Versailles, so I didn't really have a big motivation to like revisit. But because of the project, I can't wait still. Oh no. Because of the project, yeah, I'm going to revisit. I'm going to make sure that I take all the good angles and learn as much as I can about these historical landmarks. Oh yeah, funny story about batteries. Apparently my charger disconnects itself if I have a stream on. If it's anything else, no issue, but if there's a stream, it just goes to stop. That's a smart charger you have there. Interesting. I wonder why. Maybe it's like detecting, oh, it's using too much power? Maybe. But those, I do notice that that is probably a good thing. I charge and play video games on my phone way too much. I charge and play video games on my phone way too much. like my phone always heats up, and my hand just burns, but I'm powering through, grinding my Honkai Star Rail dailies or whatever. Yeah, when it comes to gacha games, I'm a phone gamer. So, like even Zenless Zone Zero, we stopped playing that a little bit on stream, mostly because I wanted to just like go on my own pace. Yeah, between streams, I was trying so hard to hold off to not play, and I had to. It was such a good game. Honkai heats up the phone like no tomorrow. Yeah, the one thing I do not like is that when you switch it to 60 FPS, it's no matter what settings you put it on, even if everything else is on low, it's gonna heat up. And so I've decided to just like give up and set things a little bit higher and just deal with it. Deal with a well done palm afterwards. Yeah, but I can still feel like tingles sometimes because of how hot it goes up. Phones normally aren't supposed to go above 30 FPS. I don't know about that. Now there's like, I mean, every single phone is equipped with a 120 FPS or 120 hertz monitor now, screen, I guess. All the big ones, all the like, I guess, flagship models. So I don't think they're not supposed to, but like maybe they're more used to like, you know, just playing back videos or streams. But when it comes to games, they have to like calculate a bunch of things, render a bunch of things, and that takes it above the usual limit. And and charging at the same time definitely doesn't help. But yeah, it was very scary. My phone like dropped 5% total capacity on the battery like a few weeks, not a few weeks, a few months after. Already a few months after I first started using it. And so I started becoming more battery conscious, but still, oh, my bad habits. My bad habits are killing my phone. is killing my phone. Wait, what do you mean drop 5% cap? Yeah, so on the iPhone, you can click into battery and there will be a battery health number, which I think depicts the total capacity of your battery compared to like when it was brand new. And so right now it's 93. Hello Swifty. I've recently realized that your name is Swift Silver, but or Silvery Silver 1. But I like Swifty. Yeah. I'm gonna keep using it. I hope you don't mind. Yeah, but we had a very, very adventurous day. That's works for me. Alright, sounds good. Welcome. I hope you're having a wonderful day. I'm really physically tired, but mentally I'm still doing well. And so decided to yap a little bit. My legs are dying. I think I got some blisters today. So that's not too good, but it's fine. We'll power through. I am? That's great to hear. Yeah. So a little bit before you got here, we were just talking about my very long day around Paris today. I'll give you a quick recap. Played a single player game version of a TT war game, and I wanted to play as a child. Ooh, tabletop. Cool. I wonder what it was. Is it like diplomacy, risk, anything Well, there's like a Hearts of Iron? No, that's a video game. Battletech? Ooh. You don't know pain until you do a 20-kilometer run. Yeah, I saw I saw a video about like marathon training, and I was just trying to imagine myself in that situation, and I I couldn't do it. I hate running, so so that is not for me. I'd rather play like volleyball or swim 200 kilometers. Okay, maybe 200 is too much, but like 30 kilometers, then run 20. Yeah, I used to swim like 3 or 5. No. Was it 10? I forgot how much our swim team made us do every single day, but it was some crazy amount thinking back. I do 15-20 kilometer runs. Ooh. Yeah, I saw training for the marathon is a very, very crazy thing. To like be able to push yourself past the 20 like half marathon mark is incredible. Yeah. Specifically, I was watching a video by a TF2 YouTuber called El Maxo, and it was the 100-day sniper video, where in it, I won't spoil the sniper part, but he also at the same time did a trained for a marathon, the Australian marathon that happened a few months ago, and so just like going over the mental fortitude, the mental resilience that you have to like kind of like build up is very interesting. Marathons are horrendous on the legs. Yeah, I'm sure like eventually once you train for it, it's not too bad, but like the brain part I think is the more impressive thing to me. Mostly because I don't think I can do it, and so I already have a quitter mindset. Spent all day on the couch after my first one. Ooh, yo, you can do it. I don't know about that one. I haven't ran in so long. No quit. Oh god. Maybe. Oh, I'm trying to like build healthier habits. This is one of the things that I was trying to do towards the end of my Paris stay. I was trying to start picking up like reading again. I hope to do paperback, but paperback books are, you know, especially hardcover, are getting more and more expensive, so maybe I have to do ebook, but I don't know, I don't really like ebooks. And I'm like a little bit swayed on the running thing, but I also want to pick drawing back up. This is one of the, I would say, like really bad habits of mine, and that's just like not giving up per se, but like not keeping up. abandoning all the goals that I set up, all the hobbies that I want to keep up, like learning Japanese, drawing, singing, you know, a bunch of different things that I really, really want to get better at, to have like a decent level, but I just can't. Maybe I'm like not a practice person, which means I probably don't have good discipline, which means I probably don't have really good self-control, but I don't know if that's true. I constantly abandon things. It's really hard to stick with them. Yeah, sometimes I also throw myself into way too many things. Like right now, I feel like I really, really don't want to, but I'm like just so busy with things that for the last few days I wasn't able to keep up with streaming again, and I don't want to like slip down a hill, and that would really upset me. In my experience, after the first half of the run, you stop getting tired. That's what the pain starts. You can push past that and work through it, then you're golden. The YouTube video that should have been done last week. Yeah, there's so many things. I feel like we often set really unrealistic goals in the most optimal, no, what's the word I'm thinking of? Pessimistic? Optimistic, right. Optimistic outlooks when you set goals, and so when things, you know, don't go the way you kind of want it to, then it's a need to kind of like realign instead of just like giving up, or kind of like abandoning your goals. Keeping goals realistic is so hard. Yeah, I think I'm really bad at that as well. I don't think I've ever done something that I've set out to do. Okay, that's a little extreme, but I feel like I'm more of a spontaneous person. I have an idea, I execute. I have an idea, I do it immediately. When it like goes a long time, when it like lasts a very, very long time. For example, like like even, I guess, designing my model was such a long process that towards the end it was dragging on. Then I started delaying my debut, delaying to the point where at some point when my friends just forced me to debut, and that's how I scrambled things all together in like a week. But I had so much time to prepare for debut. It was just like, I don't know, it's so hard setting goals and achieving them, especially when you're able to get past that really easy seeming goals point in other things. You just want all of them to be really hard to achieve. Wait, let me reread. Oh. I feel like I'm getting a little tired. Especially when you were able to get past that really easy seeming goal in other things, you want to... okay. So like setting easy goals is also not good, I guess. Keeping running example, keeping the goals small helped me a lot, like adding a half kilometer every 3 days, running at the same length multiple times to get used to it. Yeah, there's always definitely a very good idea of like starting small or like making it very achievable, but I think Swifty's also right in that it's very difficult to keep things realistic as well. Oh, sorry, not realistic. It's very difficult to kind of get used to easier goals because most people are very ambitious, right? You want to do something flashy, you want to do something big, you want to do something crazy, but in the end, that might come back to bite you. That might come back to really, lower your self-confidence if you think stuff like, I'll just take myself for example. I have a certain goal I have set for myself a few months ago, and then if I'm unable to achieve it, then I would be like, am I not good enough? What am I doing wrong? Where is the issue? Because also people are very bad at self-criticizing, what's the word? Maybe like giving good feedback or identifying the errors in your own mistakes. It's so easy to just like blame your own abilities, and instead of like trying to focus on like rehashing your goals or identifying the mistakes, I just see little goals as too small since I'm good at some other related thing. I know it's unhealthy and it really holds me back. I always go for the big thing, but it's also impossible for me to get there in a single step, and not have a list of small goals effectively eliminates my ability in getting there. I agree on that. You want to do it and you just can't. It's hard. Yeah. I have so many examples of this exact thing. So I think I'll just take something I saw today that I kind of like gave me a moment of self-reflection. There were some, basically there were some like Japanese tourists, a father and a daughter who was explaining all the different exhibits in the Palace of Versailles to his daughter, and I was able to like start slowly kind of like understand what they were talking about, just like through context clues and some small words I understood. I felt very proud of my of my performance, of my progress, but at the same time I'm also like, oh, what if I do what if I'm able to go up to them and have a conversation with them? Of course, like, you know, I wouldn't actually do it because that would be really weird, but to maybe like have the ability have the ability to speak fluent Japanese sounds so cool, right? If I can move to Japan, if I can work in Japan, that sounds interesting as well. But then I'd be like, oh, I have to do so much work. And then the thought of that made me realize how much further I have to go, but also how little I have done, in a sense, I guess. Pattern recognition, it's fascinating. Yeah. True. Watching anime definitely helped. But I guess another example is like, so this is more towards like stream stuff. One of the reasons why I'm trying to stream every single day is because I want to get better as a streamer. Like, I want to get better, right? And I realized that all this grandiose, all these plans that I have when I have, you know, just to be a little bit insane right now, a little bit out of in my own head. Well, no, how does the saying go? Like, just a little bit too ambitious, just a little bit greedy, just playing on my own fantasy a little bit in front of like hundreds of people or thousands of people. What would I say then? Or what are my ideas to in front of a big crowd? And so I realized that I wouldn't be able to reach that point if I just keep on doing what I'm currently doing. And so that's one of the oh my god, sorry. I'm like kind of stumbling over my own tongue today. Head in the clouds, kind of like getting in my own head, I guess. But yeah, so that's one of the main motivators behind this project that I'm doing. Of course, I want to like improve and, you know, make this project as good as I can for as many people as I can. But also, if I don't do these things, if I don't do these things now, then like I will like mess up eventually. Even if I was able to like get a big breakthrough, I don't know, shorts or whatever. Right? So practice makes perfect, and so that's also one of the reasons why I'm trying to stream every day to become a better streamer. Right? Like, for example, I would not imagine myself being able to talk for oh my god, it's an hour already. Talk with no game in the background for an hour straight before, like a few years ago even. I don't think I was too interesting. I thought I would like just had nothing to say. I thought I wasn't able to kind of like keep people interested enough, or like gather their attentions for long enough, especially because I'm not doing crazy things on stream or saying crazy things. So like, compared to other people, some of the streamers that I kind of like look up to as examples, I don't kind of do the same things, so maybe that's not the best thing, but alright. I don't know where I'm going with this, but enough of that. Despite my fluency, English is not my first language. Yeah, I'm bilingual as well, so like sometimes I kind of like stumble over my own words, and I'm like, imagine if I knew how to say this phrase in Chinese in English. But that rarely happens now because I feel like my Chinese is worse than my than my English by a pretty big margin now. So I'm kind of like starting to forget everything that I've learned. My family would always make fun of me, be like, "Oh, you've developed an accent. You've developed a foreign accent when you speak Chinese now." I missed a few messages. Let me go read them. I need to actually put in the effort to learn Japanese. I hear it very well, but I don't have the vocabulary or knowledge of grammar to actually communicate. Yeah, Japanese is so... it's luckily very similar to Chinese, which I am fluent, or I guess less fluent now, but that I know. Yeah, so like the structure of grammar is still a little bit different. Like some phrases in Japanese don't have subjects, which are very interesting. But yeah. I guess at least you found people interested in you, which helps a lot. Yeah, I think I've said this definitely a few times on stream before, but streaming has been very, very helpful for my kind of like self-confidence. Like I'm still a little bit nervous to share about the fact that I am a Vtuber or I stream, but like before I started streaming, I was like, oh, I hate my own voice, or I know everyone has that, but like I just didn't think I would be able to talk and have people not be irritated. I don't know, it's a lot of like the social kind of self put down that a lot of people with social anxiety have. I didn't think I had social anxiety, but turns out maybe I do. And I was really scared about like, oh, what if you know, people don't find me interesting, or I don't think I have a lot of the experiences that hello Kellen. Yeah. Caught me in a little bit of a vulnerable time, but welcome. Yeah, I hope you're having a good day. I was just saying, like, I really enjoyed streaming and talking to everyone. I think it's been helpful in building my self-confidence, and you know, streaming has helped definitely with... I don't like my voice yet, but I've grown more comfortable towards it. I've also kind of like accepted the fact that, oh, maybe I can tell stories well, or okay, I actually don't think that. Maybe I can like communicate well, or speak to people and have have them not hate me for like forever. Yeah. And so, yeah, it's been very fun. I really enjoy also just like getting to know how other people are like, meeting streamer friends, meeting people in chat as well, meeting you guys. It's been very, very fulfilling. Yeah. Socially fulfilling. I think it's a different kind of bond towards like the friends you make in real life, or the close friends that you hang out with every single day. It's like the feeling of putting yourself out there and and yeah, I don't know. Sometimes people get the question, especially a lot of VTubers, they get the question of, oh, which one's the real you, right? Which one is the real, authentic self? And I've been contemplating this question a lot in the past few weeks, I would say, few months. And I think I've come to the conclusion that they both are. Right? You know, how I am normally by myself or with my friends, it's not a kind of like facade that I put on, but a mode that I switch into. And also when I come on to stream, for example, it's a different mode that I switch into, and I enjoy both of them. I need my own fill of each of them, and I can't have too much of either as well. I don't know. I hope I kind of like explained that idea well. I don't know. It's still something I'm trying to like understand and get a good feeling of, but yeah, it's very interesting to think about whether your stream, people use the word persona, is authentic or not, and I at least try to be very much. There were a few times in the past where I was like, oh, maybe I need to talk in this way, or make my voice this way, or act a certain way to have people like me. But I've kind of felt like that was too tiring, and I just kind of went along with whatever crazy idea I have. I guess that's also how the drunk stream happened. The jail stream happened. I don't know. Not inhibiting myself does feel a lot better. Yeah, I definitely don't want it to feel like I'm lying. I think that is the line I don't want to cross. Even if it's a little less... I was doing more things to change myself at the start. I don't think I was lying. I think that would be crossing a line that I would not allow myself to. Okay. You know what? Enough yapping. I've been yapping for way too long. 1 hour. Oh. That's so long. Alright. Yeah, but actually what was... Today's plan is just a work with me stream. Yeah. You guys can definitely... I can't spell. And to kind of like get into the mood of working, let's do this. How do I'll just mute. And we'll play a different BGM. More yapping? I'll still re-chat. It's just I feel a little... I was like, oh, I have to finish this by today. And so I've been really like fixated on trying to make progress on the big project reveal. Hopefully if I'm able to finish by the end of stream, I'll post it and we'll do the reveal today. But otherwise I'm gonna have to delay it to tomorrow. Deadlines are cool. I don't know, deadlines are too stressful for me. I would say like I've realized that I'm more of a like don't do anything or do whatever is necessary until the deadline happens, until I'm like, oh, I literally can only finish this project with like, I need 4 hours, right? For example, a school project, I need 4 hours to do this, or estimates. I'll basically stay until, don't do anything until 6 hours before the deadline, and then I'll start the 4 hours and realize, oh gosh, there's so much more, and use up the entire 6 hours until the last minutes. It's such a bad habit. But so far I've not done things like not turning in a project. So, you know what? If it works, right? If I could make it a hard deadline, I would get it done, but I would still procrastinate so much. Yeah, I think that's one of the issues I have with setting deadlines or setting goals for myself, because I don't do a good job of punishing myself. Or not punishing, but like, if you don't do something, there will be consequences. And when I set goals for myself, it doesn't feel like there are any consequences, right? I can just do whatever. I'll just wake up another hour later. So what if I lose an hour at the Louvre or visiting Paris? And so, I don't know, I'm very bad at gauging consequences for actions and goals I set for myself, I would say, is the proper way to put it. I started a year-long project the week it was due. Okay, when it's like year-long project and you need to do stuff from time to time, like, oh, month 1 we need to finish this, month 2 we need to finish this, I think at least I would still do some. I would still do them. But, if it's a quiz that you need to finish by a set time, or just like homework, I leave them to the last second possible. It's so bad. Ugh. Okay, alright, let me actually open up the programs that I need to use. Alright, I'll just I'll just let the cat out of the bag. So basically, the project is a visit Paris with me. Yeah, visit Paris with me stream, and we'll be going to all the famous landmarks. Day 1, I'm hoping it will be the Louvre first, and we'll go over all the stories, all the beautiful exhibits and art pieces in the Louvre. And day 2 will be the Palace of Versailles, and day 3 will be everywhere else. So, the Notre Dame Cathedral. Even though we weren't able to get a few cool looking pictures, I'll still try to talk about the history of the cathedral and the recent fires and whatnot. The Arc and the Eiffel Tower. Yeah. It was it's something that's been in the works ever since I arrived in Paris. I was just trying to think of ways to make my experience here shareable, I guess. Try to include you guys to a very unique time that I had here. And so this is what I came up with. Yeah, it was super daunting trying to talk to the authorities at the Louvre, the authorities at the Palace of Versailles, and try to get permission to stream, because it's super annoying. I can't turn off monetization on stream, so I can't use it as a non-commercial project. So if it's a commercial project, then I'd have to get written permission from the Louvre, the Palace of Versailles teams, or not teams, but the organization running those historical landmarks. And yeah. So I have several hundred, maybe 1,000 or so photos ready. And I am going to share it with you guys. I can see how that could be daunting. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't too bad. I'm more familiar with requesting stuff and formal writing. It's just if they end up saying no, then A lot of hard work would go down. So it's more like nervous than daunting, I would say. Hmm. Hmm. Is there a way to... That's too intense. Sounds exciting. Yeah, yeah. I have so many crazy ideas. So I was thinking like, oh, how should we do this? How should we do the Louvre? Then I was going through like different ways to present the map. And so whenever we enter a new area, I would like zoom in onto the map, then transition. But I'm not skilled enough. I'm not skilled enough to do all the animations, and I don't have enough time. It's gonna be this weekend, so I'm trying to like frantically sort through things. Yeah, I don't know. It's just quite a lot to do everything, but it's really fun. It's fun to be able to, you know, plan something. I think I'm much better. Like, I don't know, maybe because I've spent so much time on both the debut and this project, I think I'm better as a planned streamer, if that makes sense. So I don't really like if a stream just has no structure or no plans at all. So that's why I do I decide the game beforehand. I decide the game beforehand and have a vague idea of how far I want to do, how far I want to kind of like achieve in a certain stream. So like for Elden Ring, it's been a little less structured because Elden Ring is hard, and also I don't want to spoil myself, so I don't want to like read what's happening next or where to go next, and I just kind of want an authentic experience in Elden Ring. But when it comes to like Zenless Zone Zero, I looked a little bit into the story and like, you know, how much time it would need to get to that point in the story, and yeah. That's how I usually plan stream. A little bit of a kind of like what's the word? Like, I guess a little peeling back a little bit of the magic of stream, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, so what I'm working on right now is the trailer, the teaser, the big reveal for the announcement that I am planning to make on Twitter. I don't know how to do. I saw this really cool looking video of like different ways it's transitioning. It transitions. Oh no. I'm sorry for the noise. I was looking for the video. Yeah, basically they had like cool little animations going on when the background would flicker to different places, and I was thinking, oh, maybe I could use that idea to represent all the different places that we'll go visit in Paris. Maybe there's a way for me to show the video. I don't know. We'll see. There's also some background stuff that I'm trying to like work on. And I'm also still trying to like decide. I know it's only a few days left, but I am trying to decide on how to actually approach showing all the different photos. Should I do a PowerPoint? but then that would be very boring, right? What if I did a video? But I don't know. Sometimes we might go on long tangents and I'll have to pause the video. Maybe I can do an unlisted YouTube video or something. Oh, sorry about that. Okay. Yeah, I'm trying to like fiddle with things in After Effects right now. Ugh, so hard. Diffusion. What does... Interesting. What does this lever do? Could at least go through it and cut it down later to skip any too long tangents. Yeah, I was also thinking of making a YouTube video out of it, so that's why I'm trying to like meticulously plan through things and basically write not a script, because I don't want it to be too like, oh, I'm reading from paper. And that would feel less like stream, but I want a quick, at least a general outline of how I want things to go, how I want the YouTube video to be structured. And so, you know, we'll hit, let's say we start with visiting the Louvre, right? Then I'll talk a little bit about the history of the Louvre. Then we can go into some of the floor 1 exhibits, floor 2 exhibits, and then we'll go talk about some of the more important stuff, like, you know, the usual Mona Lisa, right? There's also the revolution, the famous French Revolution painting. I forgot the name. Stream markers on Twitch are your friend? Ooh, that's good to know. Thank you. Yeah, but I do plan on just like rewatching everything. I don't think the streams will be too long, so I'm gonna aim around 2 to 3 hours, 3 to 4 hours if there's way too much to talk about. But yeah, 2 to 3 hours sounds like a decent ballpark, because I don't think there's too many things going on inside the Louvre. So there's not too much to talk about. I do have a lot of random tidbit knowledges. Knowledge. Why did I say knowledges? Tidbits of knowledge of different artworks, like the story behind these things, how they ended up in the Louvre. That just comes from being a huge museum nerd. But yeah, for example, the life story of this painter, how he came to be. Oh, did you know that the Louvre is still accepting, or not accepting, but like still open to new installations? Like one of the statues that I saw in the Louvre was made in 2007. So only 14 years ago. That's really cool. That's really cool, right? Yeah. But one of the things I did notice, just like learning about history and learning about everything, is like maybe not a thing, but just like a question that made me think a lot about, is whether we are still able to make culturally significant artworks. Because, no, not culturally, but like culturally impactful, if that makes sense. Like everyone in the world probably knows what the Mona Lisa looks like, and who is it by, and where is it located, perhaps. Maybe not the last one. But right, everyone knows this piece of art. Everyone knows the Wright brothers made the plane as an invention, or you know, that the statue of David, or there's a lot of these creative pieces of work that are just in the collective human knowledge base. What I mean is, like, everyone knows about them, but when it comes to like the latest pieces of art, I know there's also like, oh, these artworks have value because they were made so long ago in a time when making things was hard. But I don't know. I feel kind of bad for artists now. Hmm. List up points, show off pictures, and go off script as much as you need. Points just help keep slightly structured. Yeah. I have a very good structure and plan going on already, but I appreciate the help. So currently, I plan to just do a very, very like. I don't want it to be like. I want to make it clear. I don't want it to be like a presentation. Like, welcome to my TED Talk. Today we're gonna be talking about the Louvre. Wow, the Louvre, look at this painting, look at this painting, look at that painting. Oh, did you know that thing? I really don't want it to be like that. I want it to be more of an adventure. Like, exploring your... kind of like, the nights in the museum, right? A night in the museum, or whatever the name is of the book and the movies. So basically what I want it to be like is you're lost in the Louvre and suddenly I'll lead you guys. We stumble upon this beautiful painting, and what's the story behind it? And I'll talk a little bit about it. And then we'll go learn a little bit more about the Louvre. Or just like, I want it to be an adventure inside a historical place instead of a tour, a virtual limited tour of the Louvre. I feel like there's so many people who could do it better, but also so many other ways to do it better as well. Than trying to set up a PowerPoint presentation on a stream to do it. I think what I can do best is share my kind of like unique, maybe not unique, but like share my unnecessarily big pool of stories or knowledge of different art pieces, different parts of the Louvre. Like the last time I was here in Paris, our Airbnb was like a street across the Louvre. So every single time I had free time, I would just like stroll on over, even though the tickets were expensive. But I would like just be able to spend an entire afternoon sitting in one of those galleries, staring at a painting and try to understand what an artist felt like, what an artist was experiencing in the moments that they were painting a specific painting. Like, one of the most interesting exhibits that I was at was I believe the art piece was called Olivia, and it was describing this girl, or is describing this painting of a girl in the bathtub. And why it's been just kind of like etched into my brain is because in the exhibit, they don't just talk about like the cultural significance of this painting, the historical value, or the artistic expression, right? I think those are, most people like kind of get an idea of it, or they're not too particularly interested. But the exhibit talked a lot about the moment the artist was creating art. What was happening? What was happening to the girl? What was happening to the artist? what was happening in the lighting, in the world around them, the history, trying to like frame this action of painting into life. Instead of a still picture, a still image on a canvas, they were talking about how this girl probably had to stay in this bathtub for like hours and hours on end to model, right? And at some points, they had to like, because the painting had, I believe, a lot of candles in the bath with them, the candles ended up being a way to heat up the water for the girl. Otherwise, she would like shiver to death because the water would be still. She would try to stay still in the water for hours and hours on end for the painter to capture her body gestures. And you can see how she like contorts from the freezing water and how they had to like keep lighting candles to float on the bath to try to keep her warm. It was very, very interesting. Such a unique way of like depicting artworks. Made me kind of like inspired to do the same thing. Like share this painting in I guess the right way to put it would be like, put it into perspective, right? What was happening? Why did they paint this painting instead of, whoa, look at this painting, how pretty it is? Or, oh, in that time, this war was happening, so there was this painting. But no, like, oh, what I wanted to talk about is like, oh, for example, why did Louis XIV commission this painting? Because there was a need. Or why, for example, in the palace, in the apartments of the ladies of the mansion in the Palace of Versailles, there's all these historical figures, paintings of previous ladies, right? All the relatives. But when you walk into the men's part, the general's part, the other men who are staying on the estates, or Louis XIV's bedroom, you don't see these paintings. You see more paintings of stories of God, or religious stories, because I think in my personal opinion, I think it's like the emperor or the monarch trying to get over perhaps his imposter syndrome of being a god king, right? You sometimes doubt yourself. You sometimes question your own legitimacy, but also other people question your legitimacy, right? And so you use, for example, historical or Roman stories about Roman mythology, about these heroes, or like, you know, gods ascending onto someone and appointing them the Roman emperor. Yeah, just like stuff like that, where it's a more, in my opinion, it's a more realistic experience of art. This is very subjective, of course, but in my opinion, it's a very human approach to viewing art. Instead of looking at this painting and trying to understand what it depicts, you can just look at a pretty picture and be like, whoa, but also understand why this pretty picture came to be, instead of, oh, what is going on historically at the same time. You know, stuff like that. I don't know. Alright. I think I'm not doing a very good job of of expressing what I'm trying to say, or what I'm trying to, but I think I'll be able to do much better. I'll be able to do much better over the weekend when I actually have a plan, and when I actually have something that I know concretely to talk about. Yo, like a picture or a painting. But yeah, I hope it's gonna be exciting. I hope everyone enjoys it. mostly because I know museums can be boring for some people. So that's one of the other reasons why I want to make it kind of like an adventure, kind of like exploring a forest of creative trees, almost. I don't know. Bad analogy? Bad analogy. Okay. Alright. Oh. Okay. I think, yeah, today will be rather short stream. I'm kind of finishing up here as well. So, I hope everyone has a wonderful rest of their mornings, afternoons, and evenings. I'll try to stream a little bit more often, but maybe I'll have to skip tomorrow, and then we'll focus all our energy on the big project. I'll be revealing it on Twitter tomorrow, so I hope you guys like the teaser that I worked so hard on. Yeah, go check it out. Go check it out on Twitter. I wonder if I have I don't think I have a command, but it's definitely pinned somewhere. It's definitely pinned on the About Me page. Yep. Hope everyone has a fantastic rest of their day. Yeah. Yeah, I hope everyone has a wonderful day. Goodbye. Yeah, a rather short stream, but it's okay. I'll see you guys next time. Oh, no. No. Oh, no. What am I doing? Okay. Oops. Oh god, I pressed the wrong button. Alright. Goodbye, everyone.